Local Matters, the official Laverne podcast. I'm Ann Smith, Public Information Officer for the City of Laverne. Today I have with me Tax Specialist Becky Steed, who has been with the City of Laverne for 23 years and has worked at the Tax Department for nearly 20 years. Thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So can you give me a brief overview of your department and what services the Tax Department offers for the city?
Well, the biggest service we have is processing the property tax payments that come into the office. But I also process all the business license applications as well as the hotel-motel payments, and I'm also one of several notaries in City Hall.
How many notaries do we have?
I want to say around 5.
Okay. Is it free for people to use the notary service?
Yes, it is.
The biggest service that is offered by your department, like you said, is the collection management of property taxes. So when do you send out those courtesy bills?
They go out the first week of October.
And when are they due?
The last day of February. Depending if it's the leap year, it's 28th, 29th.
Okay. So that would be the 29th this year.
Yes.
Is there a fee when property taxes aren't paid in time?
If they do become delinquent, there is a 1.5% penalty fee that's added, and that is compiled monthly.
A lot of people actually use escrow accounts with their mortgage payments. Can you explain how that works and how that affects people who come in with their property tax payments?
If the property owner has an escrow account, they don't have to worry about sending in a payment. Their mortgage company will pay the taxes for them. They usually pay around December 31st. If the taxpayer or the property owner wants a copy of their bill for their own records or a copy of the receipt, they can contact me and I can either mail it to them or they can pick it up.
How are property taxes actually calculated? I know that the rate right now is pretty low for the City of Laverne.
It is. And it can be a little complicated, but the Rutherford County Assessor's Office appraises the property. Once the appraisal amount is figured, that amount is multiplied by the assessed percent. The percent is either 25% for residential properties, 40% for commercial properties, and 30% for personal property, which has to do with businesses. That gives you the assessed amount. The assessed amount is then multiplied by the tax rate, and that gives you your tax amount.
And what's our tax rate?
Right now, it is 0.5363 per $100 of the assessed value.
If someone's property taxes went up this year, even though our tax rate did not increase from last fiscal year to this fiscal year, do you know what the reason could be?
If there's been an addition on the home, that could raise your tax rate. Any improvement, really, if you've got an outbuilding that's on a foundation or anything like that. If you feel that your taxes have been appraised too high, you can contact the assessor's office and ask them to either come out and reappraise or ask their process of how they appraise properties to see where they got their figures from.
How often does the property assessor do reappraisals on properties within the county?
They do that every 4 years, and normally what the city has done, if there is an increase in the appraisals to help offset that for property owners, they go down a little bit on the tax rate.
And how is the tax rate set?
That is voted on by the mayor-alderman board.
And that is done every year at budget time, which would be July. So, while I have you here, let's talk about some business licenses, because that's another service that you offer to the citizens. So, who all needs to apply for business licenses, and how do they renew their license every year?
Okay, any business that's making over $3,000 per year will be required to get a business license. And by business, that could be somebody running something out of their home to somebody having a building, here in town. If the business is projected to make less than $100,000 per year, they can apply for a minimal license, which will be renewed in our office here at City Hall. If they're going to make more than $100,000, they will have to get a standard business license, which will be renewed through the state of Tennessee, the Department of Revenue, on their website through their 10-tap system.
How much does it cost to get a business license?
It's $15. And with the renewals, the minimal license renewal here at City Hall is a flat $15 fee. The standard is based upon how much they make through the state of Tennessee.
Is there anything in particular that people need to bring with them when they're getting ready to fill out their business license form?
Not really, just basic information, and all of it's put down on the application, like the business name. We will need either the Social Security number or the FEIN number for the owners of the property, and the personal address and phone number for the owners, all of which, like I said, can be written down on the application. I don't have to really make copies of anything.
Is there anything else about your department that would be great to tell the citizens about?
Well, there's the tax relief program.
Yeah, tell me about the tax relief program.
It's for anyone 65 or older, or if you're on disability, or you are a 100% disabled vet due to wartime injury, or the widow of a 100% disabled vet through wartime injury. We have an application that we fill out for that, where the citizens can get the initial year they would get some money back. After that, they would get some taken off of their tax amount, just to kind of help some of the citizens of Laverne with their taxes, just to try to help it. But we do have an application. I have to have income information, various things that I'll need to make copies of and everything. But if there's anybody interested, they can give me a call at the office, and I'll tell them what they need to bring, and we can get it started.
Since you brought that up, I also know that I've heard you talk about senior tax freezes before. How does that work?
The tax freeze is something that we also offer, but the application and applying for that is actually handled through the Rutherford County Trustee's office. They can go to the office in Smyrna off Weekly Lane, or they can go to the office in Murfreesboro. But if you sign up for the tax freeze for Rutherford County, it's automatically signed up for the city of Laverne.
If someone has questions about their property taxes, their business licenses, anything that your department offers for the citizens, how do they get in touch with you?
My office email is bsteed, STEED, at lavernetn.gov, and the office number is 615-793-3388.
Great. Well, Becky, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. We've been speaking with Laverne's tax specialist, Becky Steed. For more information on the City of Laverne or the tax department, visit lavernetn.gov. Until next time, I'm Ann Smith. Thanks for joining us.